President Trump loves to brag about the state of the economy, but as I've pointed out a million times before, he's using absolutely horrendous indicators. So he likes to talk about the stock market, for example. That's not a good reflection of how your average person is doing. That's a good reflection of how the rich and corporations are doing. And the fucked up thing is, when the stock market tanks, everybody feels the pain. When the stock market rises, it really is only good for the rich and for corporations. It's no reflection of how the average person is doing. So he points out the stock market, and he's clueless that we're in a giant bubble and it's all going to come crashing down. But I digress. And then he also talks about the unemployment rate. Now, again, terrible indicator, because what that doesn't take into account is what kind of jobs are being created. And of course, what we have is mostly low-wage jobs that are replacing previously higher-paying jobs that were pre-recession jobs from pre-2008. So let's take a look at a better indicator. Let's look at the official numbers for wages. On Tuesday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics issued a new release detailing the real earnings summary through May 2018. The true revelation was tucked away at the bottom of the release, in the production and non-supervisory employees section. From May 2017 to May 2018, real average hourly earnings decreased 0.1%, seasonally adjusted. In today's dollars, that's a change from making an average of $22.62 per hour last May to making $22.59 per hour this May. The report continued, the decrease in real average hourly earnings combined with a 0.6% increase in the average work week resulted in a 0.5% increase in real average weekly earnings over this period. In other words, people are working a few more hours a week, so they're taking home more pay, but only marginally. So, massively misleading. Massively misleading when he brags about, oh, the economy's doing wonderful, it's doing tremendous. Sometimes he even goes as far as to say wages are up. Now, it depends how you measure it, but according to some measurements, it's up in the sense that it keeps up with COLA, the cost of living adjustment, which means it's not really up, because it's effectively the same amount. And then measuring it other ways, it's not up. So, listen, man, he's a cheerleader for himself. That's what he is. And don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic cheerleader for himself. Nobody makes their own case better than Donald Trump makes his own case. That's why he tries to brag every day on Twitter as if everything's hunky-dory. The thing that frustrates me, and the thing that's become very obvious to me, is the Democrats appear totally defenseless. They don't know how to fight back. They're just utterly clueless. Obviously Bernie Sanders points out stuff like income inequality, for example. But other Democrats have literally spoken to the media about how they're flummoxed. And they're like, how are we supposed to argue against such a great economy? Really, dude? Really? So, the propaganda is strong and the propaganda is powerful, and the Democrats are dumb, and they're also corporatist in their own respect. So, listen, here's the thing. Even though the situation for regular people is dire and it's not great right now, wages have been stagnating since the 1980s, income inequality is at a record high. Even though that's the case, if the stock market doesn't crash, and Donald Trump keeps making his case, and the Democrats don't get their shit together, there is a chance he gets reelected. And that's not something you hear many commentators say, but I'm saying it, and I'm warning you far, far in advance. But if the economy crashes, totally different situation. But even with the stock market doing well, and the unemployment rate low, the Democrats could still easily defeat him if they knew these facts and how to counter-argue properly. But naturally, they don't know how to counter-argue properly. So here we are, where it's a question moving into future elections.